good all day, fam? Dante Tavianton. So it's week 10. Well, it's week 11, and I did my week 10 predictions. Week 10 is in the books, and we are quickly approaching week 11 tomorrow, Thursday night football. But I make my predictions, and now we're comparing my predictions to what actually happened in the actual outcomes of the games. So, how I do it. I call the games I got right, the ones I missed, and what to take away from each game. Game 1, we had the Indianapolis Colts at the Atlanta Falcons in Berlin. I picked the Falcons to beat the Colts 27-25. The Falcons had the game pretty much in their hands for the most part, and then the Colts came back and won in overtime 31-25, which was very ironic. I said the Colts was going to put up 25. The Colts put up 31. The Falcons put up 25. Jonathan Taylor could not be stopped. And for the most part, Daniel Jones, he was having issues. He was turning over the ball, getting sacked a lot, fumbles. But the Colts prevailed, and I will have to say it's all because of Jonathan Taylor. So I missed on who was going to win. I missed on the score. I went bold with the Falcons, but the coach, they edged them out. So takeaway of this game, I guess you could say, the stats I cited: the top scoring offense versus top pass defense, but I underestimated the Colts' execution in big moments. So I guess the Falcons are actually a good team, but their record doesn't show it, and they're not executing like they should be. And I will have to say that's a coaching problem. I will have to put that on this Raheem Morris, and because the Falcons are just way too talented to be playing like this, to be losing these games, to be losing games they're not supposed to be winning. They were playing well earlier in the year, and now they're just not closing games and coming through. So they more than likely. I know I said before that the Falcons are built to beat any team because I'm thinking Raheem Morris can actually call a good defensive game, and the Falcons offense can go out there and prevail like they're supposed to, and that's just not been the case. That's been the case the first few weeks of the season, and now they're just quickly falling off. So we'll see what's going to be the story with the Atlanta Falcons. They're too talented of a team for this to be happening for them every year. So Carolina Panthers, the second game, Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints. I picked the Panthers to beat the Saints 29-13. I was wrong again. The Saints beat the Panthers 17-7. This was a big miss. So, yeah. The Saints defense came through, and yeah, that's pretty much it to say about that game. Game wasn't really much to say. The Chicago Bears and New York Giants. This was a very entertaining game. I watched some of this game. I watched some of the Indianapolis Colts game as well. I didn't get the chance to watch all of these games, but I listened to, I did my research, I studied on them and stuff. But the Chicago Bears, New York Giants, I picked the Bears to win. Snap. I don't know what I said the score was going to be, but I was right on the team winning. I said 24-20, so I got this one right. So yeah. And the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I picked the Jaguars to beat the Texans 20-17. The Texans beat the Jaguars 30-29. So I missed on this one. It was a close call, but but the upset went the other way. So the Texans, they surprised me with this win. Well, no, not really. It wasn't really much as a surprise. But the Texans, they're winning games. I just don't really like their quarterback, really, to be honest with you. But they are winning games, and they're playing well. They're playing well. It sucks that Travis Hunter is out for the seasons, but so he's out for 6 months. So that let's see if that's going to play some effect on the Jaguars. To be honest with you, Trevor Lawrence, he's just not it, man. He's not it. I don't have to say he's overrated anymore. I don't think anybody thinks Trevor Lawrence is good anymore. But I know in the beginning a lot of people thought he was. But I think it's time for the Jacksonville Jaguars to start looking for another quarterback to start competing with Trevor Lawrence. Because he's a vet now, and he's mid in his career, and he has not really shown anything. To be honest with you, he hasn't really shown anything. And speaking about I want to see if Jaxson Dart was out for the season, because I've heard that he got hurt, but I don't know if he's out for the season. Now I know it's crazy because I think he has like 4 concussions or something like that in the past since he's been starting. That's terrible. So, but let me see. I want to know if he's out for the season because that's going to be a huge blow for the for the New York Giants. Now we all know that the Giants did fire Brian Daboll, and hopefully John Gruden can come in. You know, I would love to see John Gruden with Jaxson Dart. Let's see, is Jaxson Dart out for the season? Has he, and how many concussions has he had since he started? I want to see this. Let's see. Is Jaxson Dart out for the season, and how many concussions has he had since he started? But let's see. As I'm researching that, let's keep going. Let's see here. And then, so we talked about the Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. So I said the Bills was going to beat the Dolphins 30-14. The Dolphins beat the Bills 30-13. Bro! Wow. Imagine that. I said the Bills was going to beat the Dolphins 30-14. The Dolphins beat the Bills 30-13. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. I mean that game right there was a shock. The Dolphins, I guess the Dolphins player heard me. They was like, nope, let's flip that. Wow. That's a mirror image right there. Wow. Okay, and so the Baltimore Ravens, Minnesota Vikings. I said the Ravens was going to beat the Vikings 27-26. The Ravens beat the Vikings 27-19. So I was getting right on this, and the Ravens put up as many points as I said they were. The Vikings just scored less than what I said. The Ravens defense did play better than what I expected, than what I thought. The Vikings offense played a little bit worse than what I thought. So I had the right team, the wrong margin. So my team call was solid. Defense, a quarterback. You know, the Ravens, they are marching now. They're playing like the Baltimore Ravens. And let's see if the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. I said the Jets was going to beat the Browns 17-0. The Jets beat the Browns 27-20. So my margin was wildly off. I was completely off on the margin. You know, I was 10 points off for how many points the Jets is going to put up, 20 points off for how many points the Browns is going to put up. So I anticipated a blowout, but the reality, the Browns offense they still flowed for they played okay. You know, Dylan Gabriel. I think everybody is saying it's time for him to sit. You know, I would like to see Shedeur. I would like to see Shedeur play. I really would. But, you know, my thing is this. We probably want to get the same results when Shedeur Sanders plays over, you know, Dylan Gabriel. I'm thinking that maybe Kevin Stefanski doesn't hate Shedeur Sanders as much as people think he does. Maybe Kevin Stefanski is like, I'm going to give this whole season to Dylan Gabriel, and next year I'm going to give the whole season to Shedeur Sanders. Maybe that's what it is, and maybe he's like, you know, we can draft a little bit better. We can beef up our offense a little bit better. We can beef up our offensive line a little bit better. We can get some more weapons on offense, and Shedeur can be walking into a better situation. Maybe that's what Kevin Stefanski is thinking. I know I don't understand why so many people. Well, I do understand, but I think that everybody needs to calm down. You know, everybody's like, Shedeur needs to play. Shedeur needs to play. Shedeur needs to play. Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur. It's like, bro, we don't know what's going on in between those walls. We don't know. We just don't know. Like, you can speculate all you want, but you don't know for a fact if Kevin Stefanski actually hates Shedeur Sanders. And the thing about it is, Kevin Stefanski is probably like, I don't owe you or the media any explanation. My boss isn't tripping, so the person who signs my checks, the person who's over my contract, the person who can fire me or hire me, you know what I'm saying? Well, the person who has hired me, the person who can fire me, they're not tripping over what I'm doing. So I don't care what the media got to say. I don't care what y'all think. You know, I mean, I would be doing the same thing if I was Kevin Stefanski. If I didn't feel like telling you all about, explaining myself to you all about Shedeur, then I wouldn't. I'm like, I said Dylan Gabriel is a starter, and that's it. I don't I don't owe any of y'all an explanation. Y'all can go on your shows and talk crap all you want. I can give a damn about you, your take, or what you got to say. You know, I mean, I feel like that's what I get out of Kevin Stefanski when he goes up there and he pretty much just brushes off talking about Shedeur. That doesn't necessarily mean he hates him. It just means that he's probably hating that you guys keep pressing him about Shedeur when he didn't really even want Shedeur in the first place. But just because he didn't really originally want Shedeur in the first place doesn't mean he doesn't like him. So, I mean, everybody needs to just pump their brakes, you know. Like, I've been watching all these shows, you know, I was watching Speakeasy, listening to Shady, talking about how much he thinks Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur, watching Underdog, I think it's called, you know, the arena, watching how much, you know, listening to Key to Leave and Skip Bayless say how much they hate Shedeur. I mean, not how much they hate Shedeur, but how much Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur and how Kevin Stefanski should start him, yada, yada, yada. I would like to see Shedeur Sanders play too, but my thing is that this is the thing that I hate about the media is that they're pushing this narrative that they don't really know that is a fact. We don't know if Kevin Stefanski actually hates Shedeur Sanders. We don't know if he has any ill against him. He's just probably just like, maybe he's just being stubborn. Maybe he's just like, I don't want to start him right now, and I don't have to. It's not going to make a difference. I see Shedeur Sanders I've been seeing him every single practice, every single day in the facility. I know what Shedeur Sanders is. It's not going to be a difference. So, hey man, you know, he should. The thing about it is Shedeur is going to play. He's going to play, you know. And the fact of the matter is, the Browns should be getting some type of praise because they drafted Shedeur when all the other teams didn't want him. For all we know, if the Browns didn't draft Shedeur in the 5th round, Shedeur Sanders probably would have went undrafted. So, you know, I mean, so we should give the Browns some grace. But again, I don't think Kevin Stefanski had anything to do with Shedeur Sanders being drafted. So that's that. But yeah. Let's see. The New England Patriots versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I said the Patriots is going to beat the Buccaneers 27-20, and the Patriots beat the Buccaneers 28-23. I was very, very close on this. I nailed this. I nailed the team, and it was a very near score. The Buccaneers just put up 3 more points, and the Patriots put up 1 more point. So, all right, Seattle Seahawks versus Arizona Cardinals. I said the Seahawks was going to beat the Cardinals 29-27. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals 44-22. So I was right about the team, but I was right out. My margin was off by a lot. So the Seahawks, they dominated more than I expected. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't expect it even more. The Seahawks are a dangerous team this year. So my pick was directly correct though. Sam Darnold, man. I'm telling you, I told y'all about Sam Darnold, man. I told y'all, man. Lay off my boy Sam Darnold. And Sam Dizzy, he's doing his thing. He's a great quarterback, and he's going to keep playing well. He's just going to keep getting better. He's still very young. He's only 28. He found his home in Seattle. Seattle Seahawks are going to sign him to a big contract. He has a big-time number 1 wide receiver, Jaxson Smith and Nick Jigba, and he has a great coach. He has a good team around him, a great offensive line, a great running back. Well, not a great running back, but a really good running back. No, really good defense, great franchise. So Sam Darnold could probably bring a ring to Seattle. He probably could. I think I wouldn't be surprised. And Sam Darnold's going to show everybody that why he's a top 5, why he could become a top 5 quarterback. I mean, people are going to have to start giving Sam Darnold his flowers. Game 10, the Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. I picked the Rams to beat the 49ers 22-20. The Rams beat the 49ers 42-26. So I was off. I was right about the team, but I was off really big by the margin. So the Detroit Lions versus the Washington Commanders. I picked the Lions to beat the Commanders 24-0. The Lions beat the Commanders 44-22. So I was right about the team again, but I was way off on the margin. So let's see here. Monday Night Football. We already talked about this, about the Eagles and the Packers. I already talked about that game, but I said that the Eagles was going to beat the Packers 26-15. The Eagles beat the Packers 10-7. I already went over that, but so I got 4 out of 12 picks. Jets, Patriots, Seahawks, Rams, Lions. Well, actually I got 5 out of 12 5 out of 12. And Yeah, I was pretty good on the team accuracy. I picked the right team in 10 out of 12. So, and my margin was very poor. So I missed a lot on the actual scores. Some scores I almost nailed, but the ones I almost nailed, I had the wrong team. So yeah, I mean that's all we have right now, all day fam, and yeah, let me know what you feel about week 10. Give me your interpretation, your thoughts, the games that you like, the players that you wanted, the players that popped out on you on the screen for you, and yeah, I don't know, like yeah, let me know what you feel, because week 10, I mean some of these games is kind of interesting. I really like how Caleb Williams is playing very well. Oh yeah, and I want to see if Jaxson Dart. Let me see. Yeah, so Jaxson Dart, he's not out of the season. He's in the NFL concussion protocol, but so Giants, they will be starting Jameis Winston in week 11, while Dart remains a protocol. But there's no season ending designation right now, and he has, how many concussions has he had? Let's see. Yeah, so I was right. Yeah, this is the fourth. This will be the fourth time this season that he's been evaluated for concussions. So evaluations don't always equal confirmed concussions, though. So let's acknowledge that. But yeah, this isn't good, because still having four evaluations is terrible. That's just bad. I mean, he hasn't even started. Like he's barely. I mean, he started like 4 weeks ago, a month ago. So, yeah. But anyway, that's all I have. I thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, like I said, let me know how you feel about any of these games, some of these players that you want to talk about or that you want me to talk about. Chiming in on the comments. Is there anybody that I missed? Any teams that you want me to go a little deeper into? Sometimes it's hard for me to go deep into these games, because, well, not deep into these games because I can do my research, but it's not. I don't want to say it's hard, but I have been missing a lot of games since I've been going to neuromuscular therapy school and pursuing to be a chiropractor. So, but like I said, I have NFL Sunday tickets, so I watch the games whenever I get a chance to. But hey, my knowledge of football still doesn't diminish. Actually, my knowledge in understanding the human body is going to actually advance my knowledge in the game, because as I'm learning more about biomechanics and exercise science, sports medicine, kinesiology, chiropractic, and all that other stuff, I will understand more about the injuries, why injuries are happening. I can be able to expect how soon a player can come back, etc. Yada yada yada.